Amnesia Rebirth. Originally released in October of 2020. Retailing for $29.99. Currently available on Windows, Linux, Xbox, PlayStation, and Amazon Luna. Originally, I had no plans to actually review this game. As with Rebirth being in the title, I assumed this was a remake or remastering of the original game, Amnesia: The Dark Descent. But it is very much not that. This is the third Amnesia game. This time you play as a French woman that wakes up in a crashed plane with, you guessed it, amnesia. The plane crashed in the middle of the desert. So, while darkness will slowly drive your character insane, exposure to the intense desert sunlight will slowly kill you, so you have to avoid both extremes. As you find remnants of other people that were on the plane, you will slowly unlock her memory, eventually causing you to remember that you're pregnant. You can talk to the baby to hold on to your sanity. You will also find that this game takes place across two separate worlds: the desert, and a dark, more technologically advanced dimension that looks like something out of a knockoff Hellraiser movie. Eventually, you will find that there are actual monsters to avoid, but you'll play through a pretty big chunk of the game before that actually happens. There are multiple endings, and I won't spoil any of them here. This is actually a very good return to form for the Amnesia series, as both more complex puzzles and actually having an inventory have returned. Though, admittedly, there were times where I knew what I had to do in a puzzle, but couldn't figure out exactly where the game wanted me to click to do it. I'm honestly not sure why they felt the need to make things so incredibly precise. There is one aspect I am somewhat confused by, however. As you regain your memory, you see flashbacks of when you're with the people that survived the crash, but the game started with you undoing your seatbelt from the crashed airplane. So I'm not sure if we're meant to think you were actually with these people at one point during the attempt at survival, or if this is just your character's imaginings of what happened. Either way, the survival horror of the situation is sold very well to the player. Firstly, just from being in the middle of the desert, something not too hard to imagine. Secondly, finding remnants and later outright remains of other survivors. And the consistent hinting that there is something following you before you actually see it. Then there's also the element that, is the other world we're going to actually a real place, or is this just taking place within my character's head? As we do get the implication that there's something wrong with our character at several points. So is Amnesia Rebirth worth your time and money? While it is an effective survival horror game, there is not much replay value here, as there are 3 endings, but the choice of how you get the endings comes fairly late in the game, so it would be easy to just create a save file and reload it to see all 3 endings. So while I do feel Amnesia Rebirth is worth playing, I think you should wait for a sale. Don't pay more than $20 for this. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.